Good afternoon, everyone. Curtis Ray here for another edition of Question and Answer regarding all things finance, all things compound interest, and anything you want to know regarding a financial decision you're going to make over the next course of your life. So let's get started, everyone. Remember, this is a live event. It is September 10th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So anything you want to know, ask it. If you are struggling with questions in your life regarding finances, feel free to ask me and I will give you the most educated and mathematical answer to your question. So as always, this question and answer session is going to be about the theory of compound interest and how it's the most powerful force in the universe, the most important thing you can ever learn in your whole life. Albert Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world, but he also said he who understands it earns it. So today we're going to go through all the aspects of compound interest, how you maximize them for your life, and ultimately I'm going to introduce you to the MPI strategy, maximum premium indexing, which is the first and only true compound interest account ever designed in personal finance. You guys always hear me talk about how bad the 401k and IRA are, so we're going to go over why they're not retirement plans, why they're investment plans, not retirement plans. So you guys are open to ask any question. If you are listening right now and you have a question, ask it. I have a team waiting right now. They're right there hanging out, and they're going to tell me all the questions you ask. And then I'm going to answer it with a graphic, some type of illustration that shows you the power of compound interest and how to make the right decision according to your money. First thing we're going to talk about first is who am I? Curtis Ray. You guys see me now. I came on the scene about 6 months ago after 6 years of research. I've been down this path for 6 years now. I ended up writing 2 books, Everyone Ends Up Poor back in 2018 and The Lost Science of Compound Interest, which I published this year. That's my 6-year thesis on the power of compound interest and how you can optimize it for your life. And so that is my family up there. First thing, I live in Gilbert, Arizona. I'm married with 5 children. Those are my beautiful rugrats up there. Love them to death. And they're why I do what I do. I want to teach them all the things regarding compound interest about money. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys freedom. And when you have freedom, you get to do anything you want in your life. You get opportunities in your life. A lot of the problems of the world right now are because people don't have opportunity. So if you can get your finances straight and you can do things that are compounding and always increasing in your life, you achieve opportunity. Opportunity equals freedom. Freedom equals happiness. So that's what I want to provide to you guys. I'm also the architect and inventor of maximum premium indexing, MPI. So all the things people always say, oh, well, why do you talk so much about MPI? Because I built it. It's one of my children. It's something I care about deeply. It's something that I believe in. And it also, I believe that it brings tremendous value and benefit to your life. So guys, ask me questions. My team's right here. They're going to be able to tell me the questions you ask. I also do side-by-sides. If you currently have a 401k or IRA, feel free to ask me anything regarding it. Let's do a side-by-side, what your 401k currently looks like and what it would look like in the MPI system. And you're going to see the dramatic difference of doing an investment platform for your retirement plan versus a good retirement compound interest platform that will produce you the most retirement income. First question's up.
It's a question from the last one that we didn't get to answer. It's a comparison.
A comparison. So I'm going to click out right now. I got to click out of my little thing and we are going to do a comparison. What is the first comparison?
It's 22 years old.
22 years old.
No nest egg, $300 a month.
No age to retire at? I will put 60 years old retirement. How much? $300 a month? Okay, that's $3,600 a year. I love doing these things, guys. If you want to see the difference between an investment platform used as a retirement plan, which is absolutely pathetic, or a compound interest account used as a retirement platform, what the difference is, we're going to do it right now. 22 years old. Retire at 60 years old. $300 a year, which is $3,600 annually. And let's give Vanguard a 10% rate of return, as far as it can possibly go. Give them the full benefit of the doubt. That will produce you roughly $2,105 a month in retirement income. So that is a grand total annually of $25,260. If you're to save $300 a month, which is awesome, you're 22 years old and you're ready to start saving $300 a month. That is such a great commitment and a great decision in your life. But you go and put in a Vanguard account or a Merrill Lynch account or an Edward Jones account that is an investment platform, tries to disguise a camouflage or a counterfeit as a retirement platform, it's going to produce you around $25,260 a year in retirement income. Let's go to MPI. Same thing, 22 years old, retire at 60, $300 a month. It will produce roughly $104,000. $25,000 or $104,000 on the exact same amount of money, but one was done in an investment platform and one was done in a compound interest platform. That is the difference, guys. And I'm going to explain how this phenomenon happens. When Albert Einstein called compound interest the most powerful force in the universe and the eighth wonder of the world, he was not overstating it. Unfortunately, an investment platform is not compound interest. It's a disguise, it's a counterfeit, it's very similar, but it does not produce the most powerful force in the universe. So do you want 25,000 or 104,000? You know the answer. So that is why always be compounding. Reach out to us. If you want to do a one-on-one and build your actual plan with us, go to www.calendly.com/Suncor Financial. You can see it up there. It's the first thing up there, calendly.com/Suncor Financial. That's how you do a one-on-one with us. A single consultation with an MPI certified specialist. Email us at info@suncorfinancial.com and we will get you taken care of. Next question. Comparison or question?
Another comparison.
Comparison. Love them.
30 years old, $10,000 nest egg, $400 a month.
$10,000 nest egg. This is so sensitive. There. 30 years old. Retire at 60. I'm just going to assume you are saving $400 a month, which is $4,800 a year, right there. Okay, 30 years old. If your money is in like a Roth IRA on a low index fund inside of a Vanguard account, that's what everyone tells you to do, right? You need to know whether you want to understand how compounding works. You need to know what your result is going to look like or should look like if you use the traditional methods of retirement planning inside of Vanguard, Edward Jones, Merrill Lynch. 30 years old, retire at 60, $4,800 a year, $400 a month, $10,000 will produce roughly $1,796. $1,796 of retirement income monthly, or $21,552. Guys, this is directly off the Vanguard website. I don't make this stuff up. This is giving them a 10% rate of return every single year. Look what happens when we lower this rate of return to 8%, which is much more reasonable. $1,200 or 6% like they're saying is going to happen over the next 10 years, 20 years. $800, but we're going to give them the full benefit of the doubt. 10% is going to produce you roughly $21,552. Now let's go to a compound interest account, a secure one. $10,000 lump sum, $400 a month, 30 years old, retire at 60, $91,952. Do you want $21,552 or $91,952, give or take? That is the difference between a Vanguard low-cost index fund Roth IRA versus an MPI secure compound interest account. Investment account, compound interest account. Not the same thing. One is designed for retirement. One is designed to produce income. The other is designed to make you feel good and sprint out of the gate and get low cost and maybe defer your tax and all the different things it can provide you. It just does not provide very much income for you. So, guys, you got to understand how this whole game is played. Another question or move on to the next thing? Okay, so guys, send me your questions. Send me all the things you want to know about financial planning, or all the things you want to know about compound interest. As you guys can see up this, I love this quote right here. Every now and then, a man's mind is stretched by a new idea or sensation and never shrinks back to its former dimensions. Once you know better, you do better. Once you understand the difference between an investment platform, which is good at making money but terrible at making retirement income, and understanding a compound interest platform, which starts off a little bit slower but then produces the best retirement. Once you know better, you do better. So my job is help educate you to stretch your mind on understanding how financial planning actually works, how retirement income is actually produced, how you produce the best future possible, and ignore the excitement of the home run strikeout method of the stock market, how you actually achieve your best returns, and that is through compound interest. Why? Because Albert Einstein was the man. He understood that this force, this powerful force called compound interest, is the eighth wonder of the world, the most powerful force in the universe, the greatest invention man's ever produced. But he added, he who understands it earns it. It's the most important decision you can ever make in your whole life, is take the hour or 2 hours it takes to really break down the philosophy of compound interest and how you get it. Because you cannot get it in the stock market. You cannot get it in the real estate market. They are counterfeits. Because it's so hard to understand. Slow, steady, secure. How you compound. How you make the decisions for your best future. Next question. We got another question.
Haley May from TikTok. Why do you bash the 401k and the Roth IRA?
I bash the 401k and Roth IRA because of this right here. Man, if you could pull up my screen right there. This is one of the most important things you can ever learn in your life regarding your future. Let me pull up my nice dry thing. So a Roth IRA and a 401k are traditionally built inside the stock market. Low-cost index funds, mutual funds, ETFs, things like that. They are designed backwards. They are designed to slow down as time goes on. Inside of a retirement plan, however fast you finish the race is how much retirement income you're going to get. So if you can see up there on the red line, you start off really, really fast inside of a 401k and IRA. They're really good. They're running fast. They're doing good. But once you hit the age of around 50, they slow down. You convert some of your index funds and ETFs into bonds, and you gradually go this direction until you're at a portfolio that is roughly 50% stocks, 50% bonds, making around a 4% interest on average. And now you live off a thing called the 4% rule. If you haven't heard of the 4% rule, I highly recommend you Google it. This is the great flaw to the 401k and IRA, is they were never designed to produce retirement income. They are good investment platforms. You can make money in them, but they are terrible, terrible retirement income producers. MPI, on the other hand, a compound interest account, starts off slower. Why do most people ignore compound accounts? Because they're not very exciting. They're slow and steady. They build on each other. So it takes time to get there. But it gets faster and faster and faster as time goes on. So by about year 15, they break even. And then by year 2025, the compound account is kicking the crap out of the 401k and IRA. And it never slows down. And by the time you get to retirement, it's making around 15% interest. So you can get up to 15% retirement income. The difference, 4% income, if you had $1 million, it'd produce you around $40,000 of income, or 15% up to $150,000 income. The 401k and IRA are not bad investment platforms. They're terrible retirement income producers. And that's what I do. I help you produce a retirement account, not an investment platform. Is it the same question or a continuation?
No, there's a rush of questions.
Rush of questions. People love this one.
Alexander Malongo from TikTok. Is there a cost to this?
It is a life insurance contract. Every life insurance contract has a cost to it. It's the cost of the life insurance. And then inside the life insurance contract, you're going to have a compound interest account that trades on call options and bonds. And it's really cool how we secure it and aggressively go for it. But those are all things we break down for you. At the end of the day, I'm going to show you roughly the difference in costs. The fees inside of a 401k versus an IRA. A compound interest account costs more upfront. So this right here is roughly your first year. If you see right there, a compound interest account costs a lot more to set up. It is an actual plan. It has features and benefits. It's buying a Tesla, not a Toyota Prius. You have a bunch of features and benefits that come with it, so it costs to get out of the gate. But one special thing about a compound interest account like MPI is the fees get smaller as time goes on. Every single year, the fee diminishes as time goes on. We're inside of a 1% managed 401k, which is the traditional 1% financial advisor. Your fees get bigger as time goes on. So the difference between an MPI secure compound interest account, roughly $21,000 of total fees inside this system, a 1% managed 401k IRA, $612,000. 30 times the expenses being inside the traditional stock market 1% managed 401k IRA. A low-cost index fund will be about $125,000. So even a low-cost index fund over the life of the policy, yeah, it's going to be a lot cheaper in the beginning, but over the life of the policy, the MPI Secure Compound Interest Account has much lower fees. The Dave Ramseys and Susie Ormans who say, watch out for cash value life insurance because it's so expensive. They're literally only looking at the first year. It is pretty expensive in the first year. I don't hide that. You're getting a Bentley. But guess what happens? Once it matures, the fees get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you end up getting to keep all the compound interest growth, and that's how we produce the best returns in the long run. Next question.
SVT Singh from TikTok. If I'm 18 and I put $500 a month until I'm 50 and 60, what would it be?
Awesome. So I'm not even going to do Vanguards. We now know that a Vanguard retirement account just doesn't do very well, but he is how old? 19? 18. 50 years old, no lump sum. If you put away $500 a month by 50 years old, it will have roughly $1.1 million of cash value in there and produce roughly $110,000 of retirement income. Think about that. Man, you can keep my video. Oh, wait, okay, you shot in. Okay, never mind. So 18 years old to $50, $500 a month produces roughly $110,000 of retirement income. If you go to 55, $161,000 of retirement income and roughly $1.7 million of cash value. Think about that. Your total contributions were $222,000 and it was able to produce $1.5 million of compound interest. The moment you understand how compound interest works, it's not how much do I have to put in, it's how much can I put in. Because if this number changes to $600 a month, it went from 1.7 million to 2.1 million. Only by putting in a little bit more money produced a tremendously larger return. Let me put in $500 a month and go to 60 years old. 2.6 million. Another, if it were 55, it was 1.7 million. Another 5 years produced another $900,000. Compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe if you give it time to work. I was recently published in Forbes and I got to end the article and it said, time is the most important factor in this game. If you're under the age of 55, you still have time to make this work. Let's get you rocking and rolling. If you're over 55, we can still help you. But if you're under 55, you got to let time build for you. It doesn't matter how much money you put in, it's how much time can you give the money you put in.
XLee3030 from Instagram. Is this like the whole life insurance thing?
Bah, whole life. One of the worst products you can ever get in the history of mankind and all of finance. I'm not a big fan of whole life. I'm going to show you why. Let me open up my screen to full screen. Whole life is a product that is, it's guaranteed. It's got this, it's got a lot of guarantees and a lot of dividends, things like that. But let me get to a whole life example. There it is. Whole life, unfortunately, was not designed to compound very well. You'll hear things like bank on yourself, be your own bank, and you go buy this whole life policy, and if you put in $10,000 a year, every year for 30 years, it would have around $600,000. You put in $300,000, it will double one time in around 30 years. That's barely keeping up with inflation. That is the problem with whole life, is it's a good bank account that is inflation proof. Barely keeps up, makes you $30,000 income. MPI is a compound interest account that is designed to accelerate your compound interest. So that same $10,000 a year for 30 years produces roughly $1.5 million of cash value and $150,000, give or take, retirement income. So MPI is roughly 5 times better than whole life as a retirement income producer over 30 years. If you play this out longer, it even gets bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. But over a 30-year retirement plan, it's about 5 times better. Next.
John Kioff from TikTok. If I have $2 million, what do I do with it? FYI, I am 30 years old.
30 years old. Well, let me show you what happens inside of MPI. If you put in $2 million, you're 30 years old. Let's just say you want to retire by 40. I'll just say in 10 years right now. You put the $2 million in as a lump sum. And then let's just hypothetically say for kicks, because obviously you make money or something, you're going to put away $500 a month after that. So if you put in $2 million, and you put away $500 a month for 10 years, it would be worth roughly $4 million in 10 years and would produce an annual retirement income of roughly $560,000 a year every single year for the rest of your life. So that $560,000, check this out, this is pretty cool. You're 40 years old retired, and now you're going to live to 90, so times that by 50 years. Your $2 million has roughly $28 million of retirement income potential for you. Let's just say, well, Curtis, no, I want to be retired by 35. Okay, by 35, we grew about $500,000. It doesn't go very fast, but it produced you $283,000, give or take, of retirement income for the rest of your life in less than 5 years. So if you do have $2 million, we call it the accelerated plan. The MPI accelerated, that's where you just dump in a bunch of money, and in 3 to 10 years, you can have some pretty crazy income. The longer you can let it mature, like I said, in 5 years, it produces 283. In 10 years, watch this, in 10 years, it produces 560. In 15 years, it'll produce 991, give or take. And in 20 years, if you just put the money in and then just let it grow, it will produce over 1.6 million, up to $1.6 million of annual retirement income tax-free for the rest of your life. Next question. Reach out to me, please. I love your type of plans because that's my plan. I put a lot of money in, and I don't hide the fact that this is the account that I put all my money into.
Colin Mack from Facebook. Tax deductions implications for self-employed small business owners when using MPI versus traditional 401k or Roth, etc.
I don't believe in deferring tax. I think it's a very terrible idea because if you defer your tax, all you're doing is pushing your tax liability down the road. Do you think taxes are going to be more or less than they are today? Most financial experts agree that taxes are going up, and they will be a lot more in 20, 25, 30 years from now. So that's why most people push a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k is get your taxes out of the way. Do not delay. Let me find the illustration I have for that. There it is. Do not delay paying your taxes. It's one of the false decisions that we are told to do inside of a financial plan is defer our tax. But if you look at this illustration right here, Manny, can you pull that up? Okay, MPI is post-tax distributions. That means we're going to pay tax on it right now so that we have no capital gains tax, 100% tax-free retirement income, 100% tax-free wealth transfer. If you defer your tax, you think you're winning. Uncle Sam's going to charge you up to 5 times more taxes in the future. I do not agree with deferring your tax. If you want to pay a whole lot more taxes and you want to have a higher tax liability in the future, defer your tax. That's called pre-tax. Small limits, full income tax when you go to take it out, taxable retirement income, and when you die, they're going to tax it all. I'm going to tell you something right now. Your financial advisor is going to tell you, wow, Curtis is crazy. Like you get a downsize in retirement. You're going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. When your financial advisor tells you, don't worry, you'll downsize, you'll be in a lower tax bracket, what he is telling you is the financial plan he has for you is so pathetic that it doesn't produce enough retirement income for you to even be taxed, or that you'll be in a really low tax bracket. That financial plan produces low retirement income that you're not even you're not even going to be required to pay tax on it. If I were a financial advisor and promoting a pre-tax system, I would brag about getting you in the highest tax bracket. Anyone who says you'll be in a lower tax bracket because they don't have confidence that they're going to make you any really good retirement income in the future. So let's not defer our tax, always post-tax it.
Flavio asked, is it possible to transfer my Roth IRA to an MPI account?
Your Roth IRA is two different buckets. One bucket is called your contributions. That is your basis. That is how much money you've actually put in. In a Roth IRA, you can take out your basis or what you've put in anytime, tax-free, penalty-free. So that is your money. You've already paid tax on it. You have access to it. Any of the growth you cannot touch till you're 59.5 without a 10% penalty and tax exposure. So that's a yes and no question. That's something that a decision you need to make. Once you understand how compounding works, I always say do the best decision for you. But yeah, you can't touch a Roth IRA, a 401k, or a traditional IRA without a 10% penalty and a tax exposure on all your growth inside of a Roth IRA.
Alex Thacker from Instagram. What are the cons of a regular VUL versus index?
A variable universal life, VUL, is in the stock market. It plays all the rules of the stock market. You can get home runs, you can get strikeouts. It's an insurance contract with all the benefits of insurance, except for it has no security. I am not a fan of VULs. It's no different than the 401k, so it's not a retirement plan. You will have to downsize at the end of the years, change it over to annuity, go buy some bonds, all those various things, and you end up around 4% retirement income. So VULs are no bueno. They're exciting because you can make a lot of money, but they are not designed to produce retirement income, and you will end up poor in those type of systems. An indexed universal life, although it has its flaws, is built for retirement income. It is slow and steady, security first, go get your best returns possible, and then get the most retirement income off of it. So I'm more of a fan of indexed universal life than I am a variable universal life, but what MPI is an IUL, indexed universal life 2.0. It takes the returns of an IUL and can produce up to double the returns through the MPI match program, which we'll go over in a second. Next question.
John Seoff from TikTok, the same person with the $2 million, asked, how do I get access to this?
Send me a DM. Go on to Instagram. I can give you all the information. I can send you a copy of my book, how they're built, how they function. You can do a one-on-one with me. I disclose everything. I don't hide anything at all. So please go on there. If you can send me a DM right now or get his information if you want to ask for that information, we can meet together. I'm going to show you how it all works. I always tell people, wait till you're comfortable. I'm here to educate you. And the moment you finally say, oh, I get it, everyone connects the dots one day and says, whoa, that's compound interest. That's how it works. When you do that, so DM me, we'll do a one-on-one and we'll go from there.
All right, Ryan from YouTube. Does the MPI calculator take account for the cost of insurance when it gets really expensive as you get older?
The MPI calculator accounts for everything. So it has all your cost, all your insurance, everything. It is net results. That is the net amount of money we are projecting you're going to have in your cash value that's liquid and your retirement income. So both calculators are net of everything. So those are side by side, apples to apples, what a good retirement is versus an investment retirement. And so yes, that is net of everything. The next thing I really want to talk about, if you guys are paying attention right now, here's the point that gets really fun. The MPI match program. Everyone goes, well, Curtis, insurance products suck. An insurance product cannot beat a stock product. Yes, it can. And now I'm going to show you how through the MPI match program, also called the RELOC. Manny, can you pull up my screen? The MPI match program, the RELOC, Retirement Equity Line of Credit. Who knows what a HELOC is? Home equity line of credit. A HELOC is when you go to the bank and the bank gives you additional money that you can use for whatever you want off of the equity inside of your home. You can then go take that money to buy more rentals, pay off debt, all the various things that we're told to do with HELOCs all the time. Well, we're going to do it to accelerate our compound interest. Inside of the MPI account, why it accelerates, why it gets faster and faster and faster as time goes on, is because we're going to qualify for it at the beginning of the 3rd year. It's an open line of credit according to your cash value. So however much money you get in, the faster you get it in, the bigger your relock is. Then we're going to use it to accelerate the compound interest. This is how the MPI system works. You put money in. It has a guaranteed security floor, meaning you can never lose principal value inside of MPI. Never. It is contractually guaranteed. Even if the stock market lost 50%, you break even that year. And then we have a maximum cap, typically between 10 and 15% historically. Your account is going to make around 7% interest. Good account, right? That's an indexed universal life right there. You have life insurance, security, and growth of around 7%. But this is what sets MPI apart from everything else and how we outperform even the stock market inside of the security of a life insurance contract. We take the relock, the MPI match program starting the 3rd year. We put it right back into our system that has guaranteed security to not lose any principal value and of a cap of around 10 to 15% historically. That is going to make you around 7% interest. The relock cost around 4% interest. So off of this additional money, this money that the life insurance company allows you to use out of their bank account, we can increase our rate of return an additional 3%. You take your 7% plus 3%, now we're in double digits. But guess what? We do this process every single year moving forward. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and these two accounts are working together. This relock account's not yours, but it spills off 3% interest on average into your account. And that accelerates your account from 7% to 8% to 9% to 10%. So the longer you're in it, that's why you see these returns get bigger and bigger and bigger the longer you're in it, because leverage, this secure leverage feature, the relock program, accelerates your MPI system up to 15% internal rate of return as this thing matures with time. There is no account, no contract, no life insurance contract that can produce more than 7 or 8%. But through this exclusive MPI match program, you can accelerate your account to up to 15%. Next question.
Carmelita Tena from Instagram. What would you recommend for my son who just enlisted in the Air Force? He's already putting money into his TSP, $200 a month. So what would you recommend? He's 19 years old.
I highly recommend starting an MPI account immediately. I'm going to do a side-by-side here so that you can recommend this to him. So as you can see, we're going to do a Vanguard account first. He's 19 years old. It only lets me go down to 21. And let's just say at TSP, I don't believe you can touch it till 60 years old, 59 and a half. So we're going to say 2 years less than this. So it's apples to apples. 21 to 58 is the same as 19 to, or 21 to, oh, sorry, that would be 21 to 6. Oh yeah, 58. That was right. Okay, $200 a month, which is $2,400 a year. He has nothing saved right now. If the account got 10% interest, he would get roughly $1,306 times by 12. That $200 a month, if he saved for 40, what would that be? Nope, 37 years. It would produce roughly $15,672. If he were to take that same $200 a month and allocate it to an MPI account, 19 years old, 58, $200 a month, roughly $75,000. So he can have almost $1 million inside this system by 58 years old. Let's just play it out to 60. He's 60 years old. He'd almost have $1 million in this account by putting away $200 a month right now. In Vanguard, we go to 60. We'll go 62 because it's a little bit off. It would produce roughly 1737, $21,000. So $21,000 or $87,000 by getting a secure compound interest account. So please go to your son, have him set up a one-on-one with me or my team. I have an awesome team, Rob, Ian, and Megan, that are here full-time doing about 8 to 10 appointments a day every single day. So we are running fast. You guys are reaching out to us. We love it. But if you want to go to www.calendly.com/Suncor Financial, that's how you set up a one-on-one, or email us at info@suncorfinancial.com to get the best retirement plan, and that is a compound interest account.
Again, Susan from TikTok. I'm new to this. What is the best way to start an MPI?
We'll pull that right back up. Go doing a one-on-one. Set up a one-on-one with one of me or my team so that you can get all the information. We are educators. We don't hide anything. We disclose 100% what is the plan, how it functions, what are the expectations, what are the costs, what are all those things. So if you go to www.calendly.com/Suncor Financial. So if you look up there on the screen, calendly.com/Suncor Financial, you can set up a no obligation, no cost to you, no anything consultation where we're going to break down an MPI plan for you so that you can maximize it for your life.
XLee3030 from Instagram. Is there a way that I can calculate how much money I want to put in MPI?
You got a trial and error. Manny, if you can pull up my screen. You basically have to trial and error. Let's just say you're 30 years old and you want to retire by 60 and you want $100,000 of retirement income. You're just going to look at this annual income right there and you're going to play with that number. So does $300 a month do it? Nope. Does $500 a month do it? Nope. Does $550? Boom, there it is right there. So if you're 30 years old and you want to be retired by 60, $550 a month is how you get to your six-figure income. And so this calculator is if you have an income that you want to achieve or a cash value you want to achieve, you want to be a millionaire, then you just play with this number. Let's just say you want to, here's the cool thing about compound accounts is I'm going to do exactly half of this. 275, and guess what it's going to do? Exactly half. So everything is percentage based. If I put in $1,100 a month, it's exactly double. So once you understand how compounding works and you see one, you can pretty much determine how much you need to do to achieve the goals you want.
Alex Ortiz from YouTube. I just started a year-long teaching job and must contribute to a pension. Is there a minimum needed to start an MPI account? I just edited my budget, but I'm willing to change it after the initial investment.
How old are you? Could he, if he's close, he just started teaching? So I'm gonna make the assumption I'm gonna just put 25 years old. So if you're 25 years old, a minimum contribution to an MPI account would be around, I'm gonna guess around $200 a month.
22 years old.
22. So at 22, it's actually about $175 a month. So let's just say 60. So if you put in $175 a month, let's see. Actually, $150 a month would be the bare bones minimum. If you could do $150 a month, it would produce around $52,000 of retirement income. If you could do $200 a month, which is the more usual when people say, what is my minimum? $200 a month is good. If you can start at $200 a month, you will end up having around a $70,000 retirement income just from this count. Your total contributions were $91,000. And you got $70,000 a year, every single year from that point on. So $150 to $200 a month, if you can spare that inside your budget, it will be a very, very, very good decision for you. Okay, guys, I want to go to this real quick. This is what I'm trying to explain on why a financial plan has to be a compound account, not a investment account. When you design a financial plan inside of index funds, mutual funds, ETFs, it is designed like this. The 3 phases of retirement planning: accumulate, taper off, which means slow down, and distributions. That means you're going to go really, really aggressive. You know, no risk, no reward. You'll hear your financial advisor say, hey, you're young. You got to risk it. You got to be, don't worry about it. You have time to rebound. It will always rebound. That is 100% opposite of compound interest. Compound interest is slow, steady, secure, always building on the previous. You can't be losing the previous. If you lose the previous, you start over. And that's why the stock market is not compound interest. But look at this. Accumulate, taper off distributions. In your 20s to 40s, you're going to go real aggressive. You're going to get around 8 to 12% rate of return. Then in your 50s, you slow down 6 to 8. 60s, 4 to 6, and ultimately you retire inside of mutual funds, index funds, and ETFs at around 3 to 5% interest. The beloved, infamous 4% safe withdrawal rate. You're a millionaire and you can live off about $40,000 a year. Think about that. You're a millionaire and you're barely living above poverty inside of a 401k and IRA. That is how bad they are. But a good compound interest account accumulates, accelerate, that's from the match program, and distributions. Distribute your money. We start off kind of slow in the first 1 to 5 years. I don't hide that. We are slow and steady. We don't take risks that we don't need to. We just build on compounding. Then we get faster. Then we get faster. Then we get faster. $1 million nest egg can produce up to $120,000 to $150,000 of tax-free retirement income because it was designed on the correct 3-phase approach to retirement accounts.
We've got 3 questions.
Okay.
Carmelita Tena from Instagram. So I'm 45. Is it too late for myself? I'm willing to do $500 a month since I do pay ASRS for my job.
It is never too late. Carmelita? Carmelita, you are 45 years old. You want to be retired by 65. If you were able to put in $500 a month, we were able to, in a very short amount of time, at least produce you $35,000 of tax-free retirement income. Let's see what a Vanguard account would look like if you did the same thing. 45 years old, $500 a month is $6,000 a year. 10%, that is $647. If you go get an ETF index fund or a mutual fund, it will produce you roughly $8,000 a year. If you go the traditional method of accumulate, taper off, distribute like a Vanguard, Edward Jones, Merrill Lynch, it will produce you around $8,000. In MPI, $35,000 plus Social Security. Remember, this is without Social Security benefits. So add another $20,000 to $25,000 on top of that, you'll end up retiring around $50,000 to $60,000 a year, $5,000 to $6,000 a year, or $4,000 to $5,000 a year of a month of retirement income is pretty good in a short amount of time. If you want to wait till 70, now we're at $55,000 out of this account. So either way, it is never too late for you. We can produce a really good retirement in a very short amount of time, 45 to 65, only putting in $500 a month. That would be a great commitment for you and really, really, really accelerate your retirement.
Paul Moses, I commented on TikTok about MPI and you said you could help. My 16th birthday is in 3 days and I want to start.
That is an amazing decision. I don't meet too many 16-year-olds that are willing to understand their financial future and make it a priority. You have set yourself up to not only have millions of dollars, but potentially tens of millions of dollars. So let's just go 16 years old. You want to be retired by 60. And how much a month can you put away? Let's just say you're working part-time and you can put away $300 a month. Look at that right there. By 60 years old, you could have up to $1.8 million inside this account. You only put away $158,000 of money total. And it was able to compound up to $1.8 million and a retirement income of $163,000. You are 16 years old, so you are not legally allowed to sign a compound interest contract. So you need your parents involved to do this. And so reach out to us, set up a one-on-one. I commented, I believe I commented on the link on how you set up a one-on-one. If you want to send me a DM on TikTok or on Instagram, I can send you the link to set up a one-on-one. Set up a one-on-one, but your parents need to be involved. I can't legally set up a compound interest account for you because you're 16. Or you can save all the money you possibly can until your 18th birthday. If you can build up a lump sum, and let's just say you wait till you're 18, then you build up a lump sum of $10,000 before then, we're going to get there anyway. You know, just save up your money, start when you're 18. Either way, start now, 16, your parents help you, or just save, and on your 18th birthday, we'll start your MPI account. Both of them, you're going to end up with millions and millions of dollars.
Train Insane 1992 from TikTok. Where does the growth money come from if you don't use the stock market to grow?
We actually do use the stock market to grow. So I'm going to show you the really cool feature inside of MPI. Let me find, I'm going to do this just for kicks. I'm going to delete this. There, now I have an open screen to write on. Everyone asks me, how do you outperform the stock market and still maintain security? So I'm going to explain this right now, guys. Let me open up my screen so I can write on it. This is one of the coolest part about MPI, how it functions. When you buy a life insurance contract, I'm going to write up here life insurance. Your money goes in. Let's just say you put $10,000 into the compound side of the life insurance contract. That $10,000 inside of a life insurance contract is going to make you around 4% interest. That is where a whole life contract stops. It's going to make you $400. It's called a dividend. And that is what whole lifers always say. Look at us. We get a 4% dividend. We're so cool. That is where they stop. That's not enough money. So this is what we do and how we accelerate our compound interest. We only take the $400 only, putting none of our $10,000 at risk. Only the $400, we go buy an S&P 500 call option. An S&P 500 call option, which is very, very, very aggressive. That money, that $400, could make us up to $1,100 in the system, give or take. So our $400 can make us up to $1,100. This $1,100 goes back into our money if the market does well. So at the end of the year, if the market does well, we have $11,100 in our account, which is 11% rate of return. If the market crashes 2008, the only thing that happened is we lost $400 dividend and we still have our $10,000. So that is our range right there. We can never lose in the stock market. We have guaranteed a floor that we will never, ever, ever lose a single dollar of principal value inside the stock market because we're only using the dividend to buy the call option, which is very aggressive. 70% of the time, give or take, the market does well and makes us around 11%. 30% of the time, the market crashes and we just break even. That looks, I'm so sorry, I'm so terrible at drawing. That is a bunch of stuff up there. But the point of the story is we never lose because we never put our money at jeopardy. We only put the dividend at jeopardy. That dividend has potential of making us a lot of money in the S&P 500 call option.
Adam from YouTube. I'm 21, save about $2,200 a month for retirement.
Wow, that is awesome.
How much will it be at the end with MPI until I retire?
21?
21.
Okay, we're going to do some fun stuff. $2,200 a month. I'm going to show you various things. At 40 years old, if you were to retire in 19 years, putting away $2,200 a month, it would be roughly $150,000 of tax-free retirement income in 19 years. If you wait to 45, $241,000. If you wait to 50, $374,000 of projected retirement income. 55, $526,000. 60, $826,000. You'd have $9 million of cash value at that point in time inside this account. So my goal would be, hey, let's get you retired by 40 years old. If you're happy with $148,000, or maybe you want a little bit more than that, you're a baller and you want to go spend, wait till 50 and have $375,000 of tax-free retirement income, give or take, in the MPI system. Now let's do the same thing in the Vanguard account. I just want to show you a low-cost index fund, just how terrible they are as a retirement account. This is on the Vanguard website, guys. I am not making this up. This is directly to Vanguard.com. 21 years old, 50 years old. You're saving $2,200 a month, which is, I got to use my trusty calculator, $26,400. I'll use $27,000. Give them a little bit of buffer. At 10% rate of return, $8,106 a month, or $97,272 versus $374,000. One is an investment account that sucks at producing retirement income. One is a compound interest account, which was built for retirement income. So whoever that guy is, please get his information. I want to talk to him. Send me a DM right now on TikTok or Instagram so we can connect, because I want to help you educate, help you understand how this is possible, how your $2,200 a month can be used optimally and produce the retirement you actually want.
Pitbull Mike from Instagram. When can we please have this in Canada, Curtis? I've been wondering when we can have something this good up north. In the meantime, what are some other options I can do?
I'm so sorry. I'm not ready for Canada. There are two options. I do plan on having an international thing as soon as possible. We are in compliance and I cannot push compliance any faster. So whenever they tell me they're ready, they're ready. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 6 months. Hopefully not longer than 6 months. So what I suggest is start saving as much money as you possibly can. Pay yourself first. From The Richest Man in Babylon, the book The Richest Man in Babylon is the first rule of wealth. Start paying yourself as much as possible. So the day that I say, hey, we're ready, you have a lump sum, because lump sums are awesome. I'm going to show you what a lump sum does. Let's just say you're 30 years old and you want to retire by 60 and you're saving $500 a month. Let's look at this. So if you can pull up my screen, you are 30 years old, $6,000, you save $500 a month, it produces you roughly $91,000 of income. But what if you save $10,000 and you had a lump sum of $10,000? Look how much difference. It increased your retirement income $20,000 per year, every year moving forward, just because you put in $10,000 today. So save money, save as much as you can. So the day I say I'm ready for my international friends or my New York friends, then you have a lump sum we can dump in plus your monthlies and get rocking and roll on it. If you don't want to do that, there's always traditional ETFs, index funds, mutual funds. I don't believe in them because they're very, very risky and you could put your money in and lose it all. Because I believe we're going to have an international plan within the year, start just saving a bunch of money and we will get there. When we're there, you have a lump sum to dump in.
That was the last question.
Last question. So I'm going to go to one last thing and we are going to finish there. Let me open up my screen. Okay, guys, so let me find the thing I want to talk about. Okay, man, if you can pull up my screen. Oops. Dang it. Gotta scroll out, I messed up. Okay, two things I'm gonna do, guys. First thing, this theory of always be compounding. You guys hear me say always be compounding at the end of each of my videos. It is a philosophy of money. It is how you make the most use of your money and basically how you guarantee your best future. Pay yourself first. Save money. Put money away for your future. Do not wait. Some financial guy said, oh, a 19-year-old starting a compound account. That's stupid. They have plenty of time. That is the stupidest advice I've ever heard from someone in the financial industry. Time is the most important factor in this game. If you can give any amount of money time, it will produce a great wealth for you. So pay yourself first is the first rule of wealth. Start immediately. Do not delay. Protect your money. Do not put your money at risk. If you put your money at risk and you lose principal value, it ceases to compound. It is now growth and loss. That is why the MPI system kicks the crap out of the index funds, mutual funds, and ETFs, is because we don't take steps backwards. We are a little bit slower, but we compound. We don't chase the rate of return, we chase the rate of compounding. And when you do that, you have accelerated results in the long run. Then we're going to go compound the money as securely and aggressively as possible. Those are two things. You got to do it securely and then the most possible inside of securely and then the match program. That is the thing that sets it apart. Use other people's money to magnify and enhance your compound interest. A lot of people want to know how this all works. I have a book called The Lost Science of Compound Interest. I know that COVID is very difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people have lost their jobs. I offer this book for free to anyone who wants it. Anyone. I want you to understand the value and the power of compound interest in your life. This is a 200-page book. It is my thesis I wrote over 6 years. It took me 6 years to write this book. A 6-year thesis on the power of compound interest, how you achieve, protect, grow, and accelerate this phenomenon. Albert Einstein was not overstating it when he said compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe, the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. It is the most life-changing education you can possibly get. Always be compounding is a philosophy of money, of optimal use and efficiency of your money. So if you want this book, The Lost Science of Compound Interest, do I have one? Oh, here it is. Here it is right here, guys. The Lost Science of Compound Interest. I will give this book to anyone in the PDF form or the audio form. So if you want this book and you really want to understand how compounding works, how you achieve this phenomenon in your life, please reach out to me. info@suncorefinancial.com. You can reach out to me, or www.compoundinterest.com is one of my websites. You can reach out to me there. Compound interest is awesome. It is life-changing. When I decided to start compounding my life 6 years ago, completely changed everything on how I see money. So be safe, be awesome, always be compounding, and I will see you next Tuesday, same time, same place. Talk to you soon.